This bike has been teased and leaked for months now, but following the announcement of their new Power Plus liquid-cooled V-twin last week, Indian have today announced the full specs and provided full images of the bike that it will power, the Indian Challenger. It'll come in 3 models, the Challenger, Challenger Limited and Challenger Dark Horse. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the specs of this awesome looking new bike and then look at the extras you get on the Limited and the Dark Horse. But first, a quick recap on the new Power Plus motor. Power Plus is a 108 cubic inch or 1769cc 60-degree V-twin and is capable of a pretty substantial 122 horsepower and 178 Nm of peak torque or 131 foot-pounds. For context, that's about 30 more horsepower than the Harley-Davidson Road Glide that it's set to go head-to-head with, and 15 more Nm of peak torque. In fact, it's almost on a par with Honda's 6-cylinder Goldwing, which is capable of 125 horsepower and 170 Nm. Indian have taken a much more modern approach to this engine than their recently updated Thunderstroke, which uses an air-cooled 2-valve pushrod configuration, which is widely used by their range of big tourers. Instead, the Power Plus favours liquid cooling with 4 valves per cylinder, driven by overhead camshafts in order to rev higher than the Thunderstroke, thus generating more power with less displacement. Despite rumours that the design for the Power Plus was repurposed from Victory motorcycles before it was wound down, Indian actually say that much of the inspiration for the motor was taken from their own Scout line of bikes, which uses a similar setup, albeit at a smaller capacity of about 1100cc. The Power Plus uses hydraulic valve lash adjusters and camshaft chain tensioners, which Indian claim will improve reliability and ease of maintenance. Power is delivered to the rear wheel through a 6-speed gearbox with an assist clutch, which should make for a lighter lever action despite the size and torque of the motor. The Challenger also has pretty up-to-date tech as well. A ride-by-wire throttle enables 3 riding modes of rain, standard and sport, all of which adjust both throttle mapping and traction control in order to suit the riding conditions. ABS is also present as standard, as is cruise control, keyless ignition and LED lighting. Generally, keyless ignition isn't something I find that useful on a bike, especially if you need to use the steering lock regularly, but cruise control is a huge perk on a bike built for covering distance. I wouldn't be the first to say that there are certainly some similarities in the styling department to the Harley Road Glide. The huge frame-mounted fairing defines the front end of the bike, and combined with the bagger back end, it gives it a very similar overall silhouette to the Harley. But there are definitely some distinctive touches on there. The shape of the tank has echoes of the Scout and is instantly recognizable as an Indian. The LED headlight is also unique and modernizes the look of the bike, especially when you compare it to the rest of Indian's range. The equipment choices, specifically the front end, also give it a more contemporary, sporty cruiser look. It appears that Indian have gone to some lengths to spec this bike in a way that will help it to handle sufficiently well to match the performance of their most powerful ever motor in the Power Plus. Although the brand isn't mentioned, 43mm upside down forks are used, which generally should give a better ride than conventional forks owing to improved rigidity and a reduction in unsprung weight. A hydraulic adjustable Fox shock is used at the rear. Brake calipers at the front are from Brembo, using a 4-piston radially mounted monoblock design, which ought to also give decent rigidity, translating to a sharp feel at the lever. They're on 320mm floating discs, with a 2-pot caliper on a 298mm floating disc at the rear. Good braking is a necessity when the bike weighs 361 kilograms dry like the Challenger does, especially if you're carrying a passenger and luggage. Although that's a little bit lighter than the shipped weight of the 2019 Road Glide, which comes in at 372 kilograms. This weight saving is possibly down to the fact that Indian used a lightweight cast aluminium frame on the Challenger. It rolls on cast aluminium wheels as well, with a nice modern cut finish, and they're shod with Metzeler's Cruise Tech tyres, which are designed with performance cruisers in mind. So all in all, the Challenger ought to be a decent handling bike when set against the rest of the bagger market. Touring and comfort over big miles don't appear to have been compromised though. The chassis-mounted fairing has an adjustable windscreen with a good 3 inches of travel, and adjustable air vents too in case you want just a faint blast of air. The 22.7 litre fuel tank matches the Road Glide exactly in capacity, which should be enough for a decent mileage between fuel stops, and the Challenger features a long-haul saddle with an accessible 672mm seat height, along with substantial floorboards and high swept back bars that look like they'll be good for long shifts in the saddle. The standard saddlebags are weatherproof and offer 68 litres of capacity combined. So that's the standard specs that are common to all 3 models, but what do you get extra on the Limited and Dark Horse? Firstly, there are a whole bunch of different colour options, with the Dark Horse typically blacked out and painted in either Thunder Black Smoke, Sandstone Smoke or White Smoke. The Limited, on the other hand, has a lot more chrome on show and is available in Thunder Black Pearl, Deep Water Metallic and Ruby Metallic. The premium models both include a Bosch branded IMU or inertial measurement unit, which feeds lean data back to the bike to enable cornering sensitive traction control and ABS, as well as drag torque control to keep engine braking in check. So bikers who like the peace of mind that rider aids offer, or those that live in more challenging climates, might want to consider the Limited or Dark Horse. But possibly the biggest reason to choose one of the more premium variants is Indian's Ride Command infotainment touchscreen, which they describe as the largest, most customizable touchscreen infotainment system on 2 wheels. The 7-inch display will offer the rider weather and traffic overlays, information about the bike's status, Bluetooth and USB connections for a mobile phone, and a new quad-core processor which will provide a quicker, more responsive experience. Indian also announced a bunch of accessories for the Challenger with a Rogue collection, which offers black styling enhancements such as a gloss mid-rise handlebar, a tinted curved windshield, and gloss black front highway bars. The Tour collection is altogether more practical, with a 16-inch windscreen, quick-release passenger sissy bar, passenger backrest and passenger floorboards, an extended reach seat, rider backrest pad, highway pegs, and a heel shifter. Lastly, potential Challenger owners have the option to upgrade their audio with the Powerband Audio Plus system, which Indian says delivers improved sound and clarity from high-output fairing and saddlebag speakers that are 50% louder than the Challenger's stock audio system. There's no price as of yet in the UK, but in the US, the regular model is priced at $21,999, while the Dark Horse comes in at $27,499, and the Limited at $27,999. So it's not cheap, but that price looks competitive with the Road Glide, and there are plenty of areas in which the specs are actually better than that bike. What do you guys make of the Challenger? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and I'll try to get back to as many of you as possible. Is it just a rip-off of the Road Glide, or have Indian created something better with their new motor and almost sports bike spec with the forks and brakes? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll look forward to seeing this bike at EICMA next week, and we'll report back with some first-hand impressions and footage. So if you want to see that video, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you then.